everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 YouTube video. Today we're checking out a bit of a different addition to your mods and custom content in The Sims 4. I know a lot of us play with a lot of mods in CC, and sometimes it's very difficult to keep track of all the stuff that we're downloading, and I came across this I think about like a year or a year and a half ago, but it completely changed my life, and it has been getting better and better with every update that the creator puts out. And it's basically the Sims 4 mod manager. Probably a lot of you guys have heard about this, but if you haven't, sit down because I think this is about to change your life. Okay, so we're in the app, so you basically download it. I'll link the website in the description as always, so you guys can go ahead and download it for yourselves. I don't have that many mods in my game or CC, but I figured I can show you another cool addition to the, actual mod manager app. I do have some mods that I've, keep in my game at all times, and you'll probably notice if you watched my last mod review, we have some mods from that in here that I just decided to keep because as you can all see, you can basically see all of the stuff that you have in your game. These are another file that I have that has some more mods that I've done throughout, the almost year of me doing this on here. Kind of moving over from this file section, we can basically start going through it. So the one thing that you can do is 20th Century Plumbob has all the map overlays, and it's quite a lot of maps. Now, you won't see a picture on it. These, I don't think they have it in their system yet, but what you can do is maybe if you play with another map replacement and you don't want to delete the 20th Century Plumbob one, but you don't want it to be active in your game, you can always click on one. So maybe I didn't want the Forgotten Hollow one in my game, and I can go and click on it and then click deactivate so it's not active in my, which also is a nice feature because that way, if you're having mod issues, you know how we have the 50-50 chance where we tell you simmers who use mods, if you're dealing with an issue, to take out some of your mods, play with the mod that seems to be broken and figure out what you can do. Well, this way you don't have to take out all your mods and you can just deactivate them and then reactivate them when you figure out the issue. And yeah, so basically if I come back and I say, actually, I want Forgotten Hollow back on my game, I can just activate it and there you go. So the other thing that you can do is also add in categories and stuff too. So let's just say I go into the Better Pie menu mod, which is amazing. If you don't have that, you need to get that in your game because it actually makes the UI better than what The Sims did when they changed all those UIs. But you'll see here that there are custom categories, and within this you can have likes, dislikes, and skip. So maybe you're playing with a mod that you really didn't like and you want to hit dislike so you know what it is. So when you're going through your mods, you can basically hit this dislike category and it will pop up with mods that you don't like, and you can also delete them from this mod manager and it will delete them in your Sims folder as well, which is another great thing for CC because we'll get into that in a minute, but you can actually see the custom content in your game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this file, and then up here you'll see it's actually right here, add/remove categories. I can go ahead and add it to this liked panel because I really do love this mod, and right there they'll all be linked to the like, and then if I go back to my custom categories it will say liked, and this is where all my liked mods are. Now obviously I only did one, but gives you an idea of what you can do. You can also organize them by, last modified or the file size, or, name A through Z or Z through A. So it really just depends. You can also display them as cast and stuff like that. Again, don't have any CC. You can also do it by activated mods, deactivated mods, merged files. So if you had any merged files in your game, you can do that. Recolors, only CurseForge mods, and then no CurseForge mods with the filters. And then make sure to unclick them too when you're trying to get mods to pull up, because I was about to say there should be mods that pull up that are not from CurseForge. And then yeah, you can go from there, but you can also do it by type. So if you had create a sim in here, maybe build/buy items. I guess we have two of them. And then we have pose animations. I don't play with poses, but that's completely up to you. And then scripts and sliders will be there. So it kind of helps you be able to filter out your mods a little bit better than before, so your mod folders are not all conjumbled with a bunch of stuff in your game. The other thing you can do is if you have CurseForge, which is a must-have within The Sims now, I would say, because everything is just in CurseForge, you can basically go to like browse, and let's just say I wanted to download some custom content in my game. We can just download these right here, and you can click them and they get added into your folder, your Sims 4. What I did want to mention about the custom content part is that if you do download your custom content, it's going to go into the mod folder and not a specific folder. So just be careful about that, because as someone who's very organized in their CC, it's very annoying to have to download it, I would say, through like CurseForge, because it doesn't go to the directed file. I mean, you can direct it to a certain file, but then everything is going to go to that file. So 9 out of 10 times I download mods, you know, where I can put them into the folder. Some of you might not care about that since you've got this mod manager now. You might just be like, just put it in the folder. But I will say it is very nice when it's organized, because you can still look at all the folders when they're in their certain folders, if that makes sense. So even if you're super organized, you'll still be able to access your folders. Now, since we are back in this section, it says mod folder, which is, you know, they are in the mod folder. They're not in a, you know, so since we're back here after downloading all that stuff, I'm going to go over to my folder, because this will show the CC, and then it'll show all the folders on the side. So even if I wanted to click on this, it would still show me the stuff that comes with the mod. But I don't have this in a CC folder, but if it wasn't a CC folder, it'd be right here. And then you could click on that like folder and it would have like all your other folders appear, if that makes sense. But given that this is just a quick review, I won't go too into depth because it is pretty self-explanatory, although I feel like some people don't know what this is. But anyways, getting back to the point, if I wanted to get rid of a hair that I did not like, and I was going through it and I said, you know what, these 3 I don't want in my game, although I probably do have those in my game, but I would click the trash button and it will ask you, are you sure? Because I'm sure we've all deleted stuff by accident before. So it just wants to double check before you delete something that you're absolutely positive about. And I'm going to go ahead and hit delete because I'm pretty sure I don't want them, and it will remove them from my mod manager on here, but also my mod folder in The Sims 4. And I'll actually show you that. If I pull up my folder and I go to my mod folder, you'll see all of this stuff here from the things that I've downloaded. And let's just say I'm going to delete this Sweater Weather Gaia hair. As you can see, it's right here, and I'm going to hit delete. Now you can see that that package is now gone. So it actually does delete it, but I would just double check to make sure, because sometimes you might think you deleted something and then you didn't, and then it's still there in your game and you're wondering why it's still there. So I just think this is super helpful, because as someone who has a lot of custom content and forgets that, you know, forgets the stuff that I've downloaded sometimes, it's nice to be able to go through here and just with one click of a button, I can delete all the mods and CC that I don't want in my game. Also helps me keep track of what mods need to be updated and just need to be fixed or replaced, because it will tell you that information if you don't have a good mod. You can also go through this tool section, which is at the bottom left hand of your screen, and you can basically go through like duplicate files. So maybe if you had the same files and you're trying to figure out, you know, what's going on in your game that it's not running as smoothly, you can basically go to this like little page right here and it will tell you what the duplicate files are. Now obviously there's not any in here, which is what you want to see, because you don't want to have duplicate files in your Sims 4 game. That can cause issues too. And then we can also go to the same file name. Maybe there's a file with the same name that's, you know, interrupting the Sims game. You can, you know, delete them and go from there. And then there's another one to reverse file renames from older Sims 4 mod manager versions. I'm not really sure exactly what that is, but these are the 2 that I find that I use the most, because in my personal gameplay, since there are a lot of mods in CC, sometimes you will accidentally download more than one. If we go back to the tools, we can go back to advanced tools, and you can go through and list all ID conflicts between multiple packages. So if I open this, it would tell me, you know, what was going on. Now, I do want to point this out. It says exercise caution. Not every conflict is problematic. Do not simply delete all files that are in conflict. Use this feature only to locate potential sources of errors, which is very important to keep a note, because there are mods that require certain files, and those files might be saying that they're conflicting, but they're not. So you just need to be very careful, make sure that what you're deleting is to be deleted. So I just put that out there, as well as, you know, the creator of this mod manager as well, because not every file needs to be deleted. The next thing is you can go through mesh/geometry polygon count and search for files that contain either a large or small amount of polygons. Now, what I think my best explanation of this is that, here, we can read this because I don't want to get it wrong, because if it's alpha CC, I'm pretty sure. So the more polygons that are used in a CC item, or, you know, any mod or custom content, is typically going to be like your alpha CC. However, more processing power is also needed to display the model. So this tool can be used to basically go through and be like, you know what, my computer can't really run, you know, this high of polygons. So you can go through and delete your alpha CC or whatever you want to delete. Now this will display your saves and scan them. Now this will show you your save games and display them and scan them. So if you did have, you know, a certain, you know, sim that was wearing, you know, certain CC that you wanted to get rid of, you could go through and do that. And then the next thing is some fun tools that are more fun than for usefulness. This is a CC swiper. It's sort and find new CC on your smartphone via the CC swiper app. This also is a create a sim. This tool tries to mimic the feature of create a sim. And then this, you can create a custom loading screen, which is actually quite cool, because if I open this, we're able to put in an image. You're able to select an image and make it your loading screen. So that's pretty cool. The next thing I did want to go over, and probably the last, is this categories. You can basically add in categories to this mod manager as well. If I click on it, I can basically give it a name for the category. So if I wanted to type in like CC, and then I could add a tag to my CC. That's very wide of a name for that, so you might want to get a little bit more, you know, specific with your categories. Like maybe I would do like hair and type that in, and then add the tag for a piece of hair to my CC and stuff like that. You can also change the order as well. So if I wanted to put this on top or have this on the bottom again, I can do that. But if I go back to my folder and I click on this piece of hair, I can add it to the category of hair. As you can see, these three are in hair, so it kind of helps sort out that stuff, because if I did go back to overview, I can click on the hair and it will pull up all of the hair items, which is super, super nice, because if you do add the tags and you are on top of it, shouldn't be that difficult to keep your game clean and up to date. And it's very important to do that, because sometimes with the Sims, after a while, you might not like the CC that you downloaded. I'm sure that probably there are some CC items in your game that you don't want to play with anymore, so it's nice to go through and get rid of that for more CC that you actually want to play with, but also keeping your computer clean and healthy from all of those files, because believe me, you can have too much CC if you don't have a computer that can run it. So again, very important tool that I use to keep my game, you know, good and running, but also make sure that, you know, I'm getting rid of the CC that I don't want, because, you know, if you don't want it, why keep it in there? But anyways, let me know what your thoughts on the Sims 4 mod manager. Would you download this onto your computer to help your Sims 4 game? But also, I think this just makes our lives 10 times easier with being able to actually organize it, as someone who likes to keep it organized in my game. But anyways, with that, I will see you on Wednesday for our Black Widow challenge. Also, happy April Fools. I did not forget.